dress or the way you walk or the way you talk. It's by the knowledge that's being put into you, which is His word, the law, statutes, and commandments, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Understanding that you can't live in the spirit of the flesh. Understanding that you can't be lying to one another, to a brother. All right. Knowing that you have a certain lot in your camp, and it's like what that fucking Sakari guy. If I'm not mistaken, Salaki, if I'm wrong, but he was over in the Seattle camp, and basically he just envied the main head over there in Seattle. So he already had a problem with that brother because he felt maybe that he wanted to be above that brother. And not only that, they had they rebuked and cut, talked to him about his long ass fucking ugly ass hair, coming into the sanctuary of Yahweh Shai, which is right here when we come out. He needed to probably have it cut because if he was in the world, he smoked weed or did whatever other drug that he would do. But that's all we did when we were in the world. We fucked around. We dabbled in certain little things. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be cigarettes, weed, ice, whatever. Alcohol. You're a fucking alcoholic. That's all you did. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of that old man. You're supposed to cut that out. But he got kicked out. And what happened after that? He started rising up against everybody else. Started taking on his own leadership. There's people that have spoken about you like that in the scriptures. And what happens to them? They get destroyed because there's order. The elders, the apostles, and it trickles down, man.
It says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
Because the image that we're created from is found in the scriptures. His ways, not man's ways.
It says, verse 12, it says, but put on therefore as the elect of the Most High.
Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, because you're supposed to make your calling and election sure. Okay? How do you do that? By studying, fighting every day against yourself, being in communication with brothers, doing what you know that is right according to what the Lord requires of you. All right, because every brother's given a certain measure of faith and knowledge. So that's how you're making your election and calling sure. Is by what I just mentioned. Studying, getting the right breakdowns, communicating with brothers, doing videos, doing sit downs, making your own personal videos, not breaking your rank. All right, because that's just, it's simple,
Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, vows of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another.
Yeah, and forgiving one another. But there's also a limit in that, How many times do I got to keep forgiving a certain, there's certain laws or certain laws that, there's automatic dismissal,
It says, and if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
Right, and that's why we speak to one another. You bring that matter to that individual person, and you be like, hey man, this is what I feel. Or if I'm wrong, correct me. But this is what I saw, whatever it is, and then get rid of it. Correct it, and move forward. To be a better new man according to the Spirit of the Lord. Not know what they call a fucking nigga in the streets, because that's what they do. They want to bullshit, beat around the bush, lie, try to play you like you're a fucking sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't gonna fly over here. The brothers ain't gonna allow that shit either. You know what I'm saying? Like the brothers that have the spirit of discernment, they're not gonna allow that. You know? And there's just a lot of things that are going on in certain camps right now. You know, it's just, like I said, it's a sad thing. That's why it's very important. Communication is very important to resolve issues. You know, not just holding it in, you know, and then letting, you know, because that's how the devil works on people, man. Them demons. So it's very vital that, you know what I'm saying, that we you know, understand the order of things and the order of Yahweh Shai.
First John chapter 1 verse 9. He that said he is in the light and hated his brother is in darkness even until now.
Right, but that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You're hating a brother because, you know, he may know more than you. Because he has better breakdowns than you. Or, you know, or because you're not in that certain position that you think you deserve. You know? You hate that brother, you know, because, you know, for whatever. If it's not because according to the law, you know, then there's something wrong. You know? But if you feel, if brothers feeling certain vibes, then you gotta talk to that person about it. And if things are becoming a pattern, then you're not going off. You know? You're not going off because there's something that needs to be addressed. There's something that's going on that behind the curtains that a brother or somebody may not be able to see clearly. But in time, Yahweh Shai is gonna make it known.
It says, he that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
And how does he abide in the light? He brings out scriptures. He lets a brother know, hey man, you know, this is what is going on. You know, He guides him back into the truth. You know, that's what the brothers, even the elders, they do that for. They're the watchers over our, the shepherds over our souls, man. And each individual brother in the truth, whatever rank you're at, it doesn't matter. We all have that lot to where we have to watch over each other's souls. If a brother's not doing his part of like, hey man, you know, stay out of that or don't do that, you know, then there's something wrong, man. Because that's a form of hate. Because the 2/3 they think that we hate them. We hate wickedness. But really, we're showing them it's love, man. Everything that we do is out of love. It's not malicious, you know, it's not carnal, it's all spiritual. But what we're trying to get across that from the elders all the way down is that there's a recompense, there's going to be a judgment for the things that have been done and committed on the earth by individual people.
It says, but he that hated his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes.
Yeah, that darkness has blinded his eyes, his spirit. All right? You don't know who, what. You don't have the spirit of discernment anymore. You're just going off. You know? Oh. And that part of that darkness too is that the Most High leaves you. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer in the guidance of Yahweh Shai anymore.
Yeah, I was just saying. Also, the reason I read that part where it says, because that darkness have blinded his eyes. There's a reason why there's a reason, man, that men. There's a reason that men have reason. All right, and women don't have reason. 2/3 don't have reason. Because they understand, first we gotta understand that you gotta talk things out, right? Because if you don't talk it out with your brother, if you don't come to him, man, it can lead to you going off in understanding to where you think that you won't talk it out, so you're like, no, I have the right understanding. I know what I'm doing. Or it can build up hate to that brother unknowingly, and you find out you ended up hating your brother. You gotta talk it out. You gotta always talk it out, man.
And then that becomes discord.
Yeah.
There's a division. All right. But if there's a division, there ain't nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? It's already done. You know. But that's in order to solve that problem, you gotta have communication. You gotta communicate with one another. I got Sirach 3:22. But what is commanded thee? Think thereupon with reverence. Right? Don't just go off and think that's what's really going on or whatever. Think about it, you know, and see, you know, wait, watch. That's what Yahweh Shai does. You know, he even tells us, wait and watch. Be watchful. Be circumspect. You know? Because the lion, how does it say? The lion is walking through and to and fro, devouring, seeking whom he may devour. It says, Sirach 3:22, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Alright? Because Yahweh Shai will reveal them. Yahweh Shai will reveal your through your pineal gland what's really going on. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment.
That's why you got to talk it out. The elders even say, man, if you got a question, ask. It's always better to ask than to be wrong, because originally that's what's killing us. That's what killed us, was lies, or not knowing the right thing. You gotta know, and if you don't talk it out with your brother, if you have a quarrel, that's what I was saying. You may have thought that the way that you were approaching the situation was right, but if you don't talk it out, you're gonna remain in that understanding. You'll be found out to be wrong, and that could be the reason you be destroyed.
It says, verse 25, without eyes shalt thou want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. An abstinent heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. And the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness had taken root in him.
And that's another thing. It takes root in you. You don't talk it out. You don't try to find out what's right. You want to, or you're too. I guess you're too embarrassed to ask if it's right or wrong because you think you should have already known it or not. Hey, well, you might have should have already known it, but you know what? That just shows you that hey, you need to step up, or you need to step it up, you know, because if you have a wicked root in you, how are you gonna get it out? It just said there's no remedy for it. You gotta get that's why right now, even the Apostle Gabar said it a few weeks back. What we're doing is a hard thing. That's why the 2/3 they don't want to do what we're doing, because the scriptures say, dig up the fallows of your mind. It's breaking ground, and he says to break through the earth is a hard thing, and it really is. You see all the concrete and bullshit you got to break through now today. It's a hard duty, and all you got is a pickaxe. You know, but that's what you got to break out of your own self. Put up that old man. And you know what? It's still a beautiful thing that Yahweh Shai is still preaching that, because that's still showing mercy. It's still giving you a chance every day to put up that old man. Purge those things that are off you. I know there's one scripture, man. It says that to do good and to communicate.
I was trying to find it, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it too. But I even got another one. Or if you got one.
Yeah, let me finish this. Sirach 3:29. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man.
An attentive ear is someone who listens to it all the time.
A spiritual ear, because like Yahweh Shai said, they have ears, but how does it say that they see but not see?
And they hear, but they hear not.
Yeah, they hear not. Because they think, oh, well, I got to hear with my ears. But it goes deeper than that. It goes to your spirit, your understanding. All right, using the faculties of thy mind. So it's referring to the heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. And a spiritual man is going to listen, not just with his ear, but spiritually, seeing with the spiritual mind, with spiritual ears. And that's how he finds out matters and put the puzzles together. Because you got to be spiritual when you come in here to understand the breakdowns, or even understand from the elders what they're talking about. All right, that's why the 2/3 can't get it, because their spiritual mind is not open to it. All right, so like I was gonna read in Malachi, it says 3:16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written there before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. See, so you can't make a proper discernment if you're going based off your carnal eyes, your carnal ears. So the scriptures say a man sticketh with the tongue. What else? That a just man falleth 7 times, and then you got a righteous man that falls, but he gets back up and he keeps going towards the target. Versus a 2/3, they'll look at a man that falls, a righteous, like say, example, one of us, and they're like, oh, that motherfucker, he ain't a man of the Lord. He's they start blaspheming. All right. But the scriptures say here that the Lord is going to give us the spirit, the ability to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. And didn't you bring out the one that says that he that filleth his belly?
Yeah.
That was in Colossians? That serveth.
Oh, no. Oh, wait.
Which one was that? I thought you brought something out. 1 Corinthians?
Yeah. So
So basically, he was basically still in the world. He didn't let go of the world. He wasn't fighting for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So basically, what I'm saying, like it's vital, it's important that, we reevaluate, what I'm saying? Reevaluate situations and know our priorities. All right, the real priority of us being out here in the first place. It's not just some little show, you know what I'm saying? It's not just something that I'm part of I'm affiliated with a group of men and we are men and we cuss people out. No, it's not about that. It's about edifying the nation of Israel. And this topic is like real hard to speak about, because when you try to tell somebody like in the world, you try to correct, even people in your daily home, what do they want to do? They'll immediately put up walls. They put up walls before them, they walk away, or they tell you, oh, I don't want to hear that. They don't want to talk about it. It's just, and what happens? They bite back, they become more rebellious, and that's what's going on in the world today, man. In every city and every town, these people are just getting worse and worse. Because like Yahweh Shai said, these words are not going to return to me void. They're doing exactly what needs to be done. The prophecies have to be fulfilled, and you people that waxing worse and worse is part of prophecy. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. It needs to be done. You didn't want to accept the rules that Yahweh Shai had for us in Deuteronomy 28. So now this is what the outcome of it all is. The outcome of it is going to be hate, rebuke. You got something?
Yeah, I got a couple. Ephesians 4:29. That no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth.
That's talking, one part of the corrupt communications that come out of like the Matthew talks about how is a man defiled is by his thoughts, certain things that come out of him from his mind. So evil communication is basically going contrary to Yahweh Shai. You know, you're not following order. You're basically just doing whatever you want. You know, when you want. You know. That is part of that corrupt communication.
It says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying."
But that which is good to the use of edifying. Make sure you're coming out of the scriptures. You know, make sure you're pulling out scriptures to back up what it is that you're talking about. Okay, because the Lord is our wisdom is a strong defense. So this is our defense. Okay.
It says that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
Right. That way it will minister grace unto the hearers, because these words are more graceful than anybody can speak in the world, man. You know, the most eloquent man ain't got nothing on these scriptures, and that's part of communication is the beauty of being able to speak is to make known knowledge to people. Right? Get that one. After that, there's another one in Corinthians where Paul talks about speaking in tongues and everything.
It says, "And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Yahweh, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice."
That's that old man. That's the old man that's like, oh, don't be telling me what to do. You know? It's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got like an animal, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta tame them animals. You gotta basically like domesticate them to your rules in your house. If you have pets, you know, you tell them no. What do? They like run and then they look back at you like they throw their head with attitude. That's attitude. They don't like that, and they start knowing that word no. That's that old man. When you tell somebody, hey, you can't be doing that. What do? They want to turn. They want to. You say, hey man, don't do that again. Don't you put your hand on the shoulder. Hey, don't do that. Spiritually though, what do? It's like that animal. It throws itself back and looks at you like, what the hell? Who do you think you are? But that's where that's that old man. That clamor, and then what does that dog start doing? Start barking real loud. You're just looking at it and say, what the hell's wrong with this dog? All right, so what do? You rise up and you go and you do what you have to do, whatever it is. If you know, you got a bunch of motherfuckers that animal cruelty, these fucking sensitive ass people, you know. But that's part of that old man, and that old man has to be brought down, you know, because the flesh wants to come up. The flesh wants to be on top. You know, Yahweh Shai told the apostles, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. Right? And we always got to keep that in remembrance, because the flesh, we're here in its domain right now, man. We're in the kingdom of death. So everything that's out here is like gravitating to the flesh, and the flesh wants to look and go towards it. So we got to resist that.
And let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as the Most High for Christ's sake has forgiven you.
Right, that's within the brotherhood, not to you 2/3, because 2/3 will pull that out. Oh, see, you got to be kind to me. No, because there's a balance. We can be kind to you. A brother can be kind to, like I said, one brother may speak to somebody else smoothly, another brother may not. You know, you got to be subjected either way. Get that one in Timothy where it talks about that. You got to be subjected either way, and if not, you know, you're just gonna First Peter 2 and
servants. Be subject to your masters.
Yeah, it says servants. That's what we all are, servants for Yahweh Shai's sake. All right, not for this man next to me or this man next to the right of me, left of me, in front of me, you know. But ultimately it's Yahweh Shai. But we are all representatives of Yahweh Shai, so we have to be subject to one another. We have to be, because like I said, you got certain people that have been kicked out of GMS or camps because they didn't like that. You know, they didn't like being told, "Hey man, hold your lot, hold your spot, don't speak out of order," and they'll get offended out of that. That's why it's better to have a mind that's like, you know what, I'll wait, and the scriptures talk about that. I'll wait to be asked to speak. And the scriptures say how the man that dips his hand first into the grabbing food, or like Judas Iscariot did, because his spirit wasn't right. He wanted to merely just get his own. He wanted to fill his belly first. He wanted to be able to have that his revelation to come out. That's why every camp has a main speaker. That's why a camp has, you know, order. And then, you know, if there's not order in there, then that's where brothers be like, "Hey man, what's going on?" You know. Because there's some camps where there's more than one brother speaking all the time. There's always constantly the main speaker will be speaking, and then someone will come out and is automatically just butt in when he's trying to make points. And that's out of order. And it's not just like one brother, like me and this brother, just me and him, but that's the way we have it. But it's like it'll be like 10 brothers, but then there's like 3 or 4 just going at it. Like that, to me, that's like out of order in a way. You know? So say something?
Wasn't there the scriptures talk about how Shai was speaking to Peter? I can't remember what they were speaking about, but Peter basically got offended when Yahweh Shai was targeting him. So he goes, "Well, what about John?" And Yahweh Shai was like, "Hey, don't worry about yourself."
Yeah. Yahweh Shai told him, "Feed my flock." He was asking Peter, "Hey, do thou lovest me?" He said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I do." You know. He asked him 3 times. He said, "Well, feed my flock." You know, because he already probably knew his heart. He probably felt like he needed to be up here all the time next to Yahweh Shai, not knowing that all these brothers need that love. All these brothers need that whatever it is that he needs to give to him at that time that he was there. You know. But he was like, "Well, what?" It's in the last chapter of John where he speaks about it, and he says, you know, he's worried about the man that was laying in his bosom, which was John, the beloved, and he said, what does that have to do? What does that have anything to do with you? Feed my flock. Because there was a saying that he was gonna live forever, if I'm not mistaken. That he wasn't gonna die. So Yahweh Shai was like, just feed my flock. Let me get it real quick. This is John. Let me get it real quick. John 21 and 20. Then Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple whom Yahweh Shai loved, following, which also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, "Lord, which is he that betrayeth thee?" Peter, seeing him, saith to Yahweh Shai, "Lord, and what shall this man do?" Yahweh Shai saith unto him, "If I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me." So he was saying, don't worry about him. Don't worry about what he, was. We're all fighting for the same cause, So Yahweh Shai told him, "Hey, just follow me, just leave it like that." And then it says, basically that's it, Doesn't say he was really offended, but he Yahweh Shai told, "Hey man, just follow me. Don't worry about John. If I wanted him to live until I came, what is it to you?"
Well, I was just saying, but don't see, because we're still speaking about order, man. Don't be taking to brothers who don't want to get right, I guess, or men who don't want to get right, who want to tell brothers, don't take this as a saying like, "Well, don't worry about my brother, or don't try to correct them and fix what it is about," because that's not it. You got to
that's what you have to worry about.
Yeah.
That's what you have to worry about is if you see a problem, then that's when you go in and you try to figure what's going on. But if that man's not doing nothing, then there's no reason to be asking questions or be like, "Hey man, like looking at him a certain way or sideways. That because John wasn't doing it. John was just following the Lord like Peter was, you know. And but there was probably some form of maybe envy